And yeah, for me, it's just kind of grown into trying to create opportunity. My whole pursuit of this has always been like having just enough to get by and always wanting just to create opportunities to continue doing what I wanted to do. And that's why I went into making as good videos as I can, get really good at photos. So basically within kiting, I would have something that would bring value to someone, whether it be a kiteboarder or a brand. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Basixs podcast. Today is a pretty exciting episode because it's my first time doing a four-way. We got beautiful Megan here, and also two new friends from Their Beginner on Instagram who are up to some pretty fun stuff. So yeah, we're just going to have a little podcast session and talk about some fun stuff. Yeah, welcome to the episode, everyone.
Welcome to your first podcast, and our first as well.
Yeah.
How we doing?
Well, we're good, yeah, we're good. It's very weird being on the podcast and not listening to it.
Right? Long time coming, Bella.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching you do it for ages, so
Yeah.
it's about time we got involved.
Does it feel good to finally have a mic in the hand?
Yeah, I feel like Jake Kelsick right now.
Right? Cool. So to kind of start off the episode, I just want to let people know a little bit about, who you are. So, Megan, you could probably start, just give people a little intro to, what you're up to, what you're working on, and kind of where they can find you.
Obviously, I'm Megan. So I've been living in Antigua for 5 years now, and I've just started lifeofmegan.com, and I'm basically a platform just to try and sell my art, just push some products out there, get people to buy it, and just basically spread my love for art, and that's what I'm up to right now.
Cool. And how's it been going, Bob? It's been going pretty sick.
It has actually, surprisingly good. It's way more than I ever thought I was going to get.
Because it's been super fun, because I actually helped Megan build a website and all that stuff, and it's cool to actually build something, kind of just leak it out onto social media, and then have people actually react and really love what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where it continues to
definitely
grow into,
Yeah.
And you're wearing the proof, right?
Right here. Life for Megan. This is one of Megan's designs. It's super crazy.
That's Pat the Pelican. I really love him.
Yeah, the Pelican.
He's awesome.
Yeah. And then you guys, what's your story?
I'll let Luz do this part.
Okay, well, I'm Luz. 29 years old, almost 30. That's painful.
No, it's beautiful.
We're just starting up Dear Beginner. And we recently are living in Antigua for a few months. So that's quite fun. That's new. And just trying to set up our brand right now.
And Their Beginner, what's the plan with Their Beginner? The name kind of describes it a little bit, but what is your kind of vision for the brand and what you're doing?
Yeah, we're planning to build a platform. We have several products. So we have a masterclass. We do book recommendation. We have our Instagram, and all combined, it's Dear Beginner.
And the overall goal is to do what? Are you trying to help people start stuff? Are you trying to talk about business, talk about kiting? Because I know you guys are pretty new kiters as well. So is it just touching on a lot of different stuff, or is it, what is it focused on really?
Yeah, it's the motto of our brand is to help people strive for the life they really want to live with a beginner's mind. So that means if you're a big beginner, then you are open to learn and you are eager to learn new things, and you have an attitude of openness. And that's kind of how we are in life. Just wanting to do new things and starting new stuff, learning how to kite. Yeah, that's a new thing. And I think people usually tend to stay in a comfort zone because it's secure and safe. And as a beginner, it's really unsecure because you don't know what you're doing. Just like with kiting, it's we have no idea what we're doing, but we are doing it. So that kind of is the thing we want to get across.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig the idea, and the name is gold. It's very people I think are going to get it straight from the gate. So. Huge potential. Can't wait to see when you guys finish kind of building stuff out a bit more and start leaking it out. Because it's pretty exciting.
Yes, it is. Definitely.
Cool.
I've nothing to add on that. I'm Charlie. I'm 39, trying to be younger every day, aging backwards. So yeah, with a beginner's mind, and when we started, we actually weren't their beginner. We were the edge in the beginning, but the edge was more ego, more testosterone, more like we already did this, and now we're just changed that because, a lot of people can recognize themselves into being a beginner.
Yeah.
And, they have fear of starting new stuff. So that's why we thought, if our people are more like beginners as well, and we are like the edge, and we are doing cool stuff and jumping out of helicopters all the time, they can relate with us. So, that's why we changed the name. And this feels so much secure and so much pleasantly than the first name. So,
cool, man.
I think we're on the right path now.
What triggered that switch? Was it just over time you yourself kind of realized maybe you wanted to take it somewhere else, or was it some feedback? What caused that?
Yeah, we needed some feedback, man. We had a friend telling us that because we once shoot like a picture like movie stars in a shopping street where we stood like still and people passing us. And then that picture was awesome, but a friend of ours told us, but I'm just a guy with a double chin sitting in the metro all day looking at you guys, and I'm like, I'm not that person, right? I can relate to them. So and then we thought, if and he's quite a cool guy, so he does awesome stuff, but if he says that, there's a much larger group that might feel the same, so that's why we popped it.
That's cool, and that brings up something very cool that I actually want to talk about. It's like, as someone who wants to make stuff and create stuff, a lot of times when you first start, you end up keeping it to yourself for too long, or just trying to make it too perfect. And the power of doing what you guys did, which was just, putting out photos, putting out whatever you want to put out, and being able to get feedback from whether it's friends or just random people who like what you're doing, that's really powerful. That's when you can actually start to figure things out and grow and continue to progress.
Yeah.
Because, some people who like to create stuff, most times you just want to make it. And you've worked in it for so long, you think it's perfect and you put it out and maybe it's just, it doesn't connect with people at the right time or at the right place, So it's cool. You got to put stuff out there to actually see what's happening, if it's good or not,
Yeah, and I think that's what happened with us, because we put stuff out, but it didn't really make sense to people. And then we thought, okay, we have all kind of loose things, but we have to put it together and so that people understand it. So, and then we came up with Dear Beginner, because we came across a book we were reading. What was the title again? I'm not sure, but it's by a Zen master who said in the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert mind there are few. And that kind of related to us. And then we thought, that's actually what we are doing. And all the things we are creating are attached to that. So then we thought, okay. And combined with the feedback we got, that was kind of the trigger to start this. What did you want to say?
Well, I wanted to say that when you trying to pivot your way through all this, new beginnings, you will find out in the end. You'll get the feedback, and like you said, if you put it out, then people are going to tell you, well, okay, but I actually like that and not what you're doing now. So why did you change that? So we needed that feedback as well, and I think a lot of people need to you shouldn't be ashamed for what you make, right? So if you make a picture, Megan, you just want to put that extra line, and no, you shouldn't, man.
Yeah, and you just have to be confident in what you put out there as well. It's whatever you put out there, there's always going to be that one person, a couple of people that say, oh, I don't like it, or you could have done it this way, you could have done it that way.
Yeah,
but
you're never going to please everyone.
As long as you like it and you believe in it, then that's all that really matters. I mean, there's going to be those people. You just have to take it as, positive criticism and make the change that you want to do, you know. So you just accept it and then go from there. If have the confidence to just put it out there. If you just get any reaction, you know, you should get some negative reaction as well, you know. Otherwise, you're doing not exceptional things, right? So if it's like a cricket and you don't get any feedback, you need the haters, right? So a bit, because, you know, and people will throw stones at you, but you just have to collect them and just, you know, build a nice wall around you, be protected for that, and just pursue what you're after. Yeah, definitely. And definitely. The thing is, you think that people will care, but actually they don't, you know. You think that, oh man, when I put this picture out, maybe, you know, I'm going to get dislikes. You know, people don't care. They're just busy with their own lives, right? So they only care, you only get the attention when you radically fail or radically become successful. Then they're like, hey, who's this? And then after 3 seconds, you're gone, you know? Exactly. So just put it out anywhere. You don't care. Yeah.
That's cool, man. And like, so for you guys, what started this whole thing? Why did you guys want to start putting stuff out and start building an online persona, online brand? What, you know, because you guys haven't been doing this your whole life, have you? Not from day one. So like, what were you guys doing before this, and then what made you want to actually start pursuing, you know, building an online audience and bringing value to people and all that stuff? What started that? Big question.
Yeah, that's a big question. Yeah, I think for me, I was going to university. I've done like 3 studies, didn't really find my way in it, and actually at the end, like in my final year, I was thinking, why did I go to university anyways? Because it was something you just...
it was just an option. Something the easy thing to go and do, to say you're doing something.
Yeah. It's not an option. And then I think in my final year or something like that, I started thinking like, okay, what do I want to do? And when I was writing my thesis, we were traveling in Mauritius, and we were talking about stuff, and then I thought, okay, I have a choice. I can work in an office like from 9 to 5, or I can do something that is really fulfilling. So I was writing my thesis, and I started thinking, and we actually started coding because that's something we wanted to do. Okay. So we learned that, and then we went from there, and that's kind of it. Yeah.
Cool. So you guys just wanted to do something that was fulfilling to do every day.
Yeah, sure.
Basically.
If you want an average life, you know, make sure you get stay out of trouble, go to a school, and find a job you might like, right? Yeah. And we don't want an average life, so we want the full life, that when we look back, that we won't regret anything. We made all the mistakes we could make, but we had a life that feels full and complete. So that's why we are chasing. I think it's a big dream to chase this. You know, it's scary. It doesn't go without fear. So yeah, but you know, we're just doing it, and we like we said, we just act as beginners as well. Okay, this is new for me. Show me the way. I'll learn from you. You know, I'm not the guy just saying that I know everything, and that, you know, people stipulate their lives like this, and you see that online a lot. You know, like there are quite a good guys like Gary Vee and Tony Robbins, and they have like a very rigid program, like do this and do that, and and we're more like Socrates, like, you know, okay, how does it work? Okay, no, well, we're gonna learn from each other. Oh, that's nice. All right. Yeah. So that's what I like as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. It's interesting, man. And then for Megan, like with your whole art thing, it's a pretty interesting story, because when I first met Megan, and didn't really know you were that into art.
No,
and then
I didn't really ever do it. I sort of came out of college having been forced to do art that I didn't want to do. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So as soon as I left college, I was like, I'm not going to draw again. Like, okay, it's fun, but I've always been forced to do stuff that I want to do.
Yeah.
So I just never did it. And then, I guess a couple of years later, I just started drawing again.
Yeah, and it was so funny for me, because for me, I've been like on this pursuit to create stuff and make stuff, and like I'm kind of the person who wants to do as much as I can. So I learn about video, I learn a little bit about Photoshop, illustration, just everything to kind of allow me to do whatever I want to do. And then I saw some of Megan's drawings, I'm like, what are you doing, girl? Like, this stuff is so good. Like, you can actually draw on paper. Like, that's a skill, you know?
Yeah.
You need to somehow...
I think I needed you to tell me that it was good, because I've always drawn. Like, I've always had a pencil.
And
like,
you just thought of it as drawing.
Whatever. Like, it's in my bedroom as a kid, just doing that kind of stuff. And I guess my parents are like, yeah, it's good, Max. Yeah, you know, like, it's good. It's really good. But, like, I guess...
You couldn't see much further, like, where you could actually take it,
I needed someone to be like, oh, wow, you can actually do so well with that, and you can try this, and you can do that, and you were just that person that did that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you saw that, a movie from, how's it called? Steve Harvey? No? With the lid of the jar, the little clip.
Have I seen it?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Well, it's kind of nice, because he explains, like, that there are a fleece. They have a leap. How do you call it? A leap jump they can make. Mm-hmm. But if you put them in a jar, so the first fleece you put in, they jump, but they hit their heads. Okay, and then they think, okay, I have to jump a little lower, because then I hit my head. And then the children they jump just as high as their parents. And they don't know that there is a little bit more space, like in between their head and the lid. Mm-hmm. So it probably also works that way. That parents, maybe not consciously, but they give you an example.
And it's so true, because, and that's why I like people like Ivy, even though he has a very, like, you know, macho, bam, 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 but like, if you get past just that and dive into like what he talks about, he's doing so much good in the world. Like, for me, it's just cool to have someone like that where, like, you know, he's making good money doing whatever he's doing, but he, like, understands the power of social and understands the power of, like, communicating a message that's going to actually help people.
And building the audience.
And building an audience.
He loves to
but he's a master at it, you know? He's a master. And for me, it's just cool, because his stuff is, like, it's raw, which is, he's not really doing anything different.
He doesn't care.
You know? And that's what's so intriguing to me, because that's another thing that he touches on, is like document versus create. Because a lot of times people want to build an online brand, build whatever, they want to do something online, and they get stuck creating, figuring out what to create. They get stuck in the idea. And like, you know, if you think about it as documenting versus creating, you can actually like document you coming up with the idea. That's a piece of content, and just documenting your journey, like the ups, downs, whatever's happening. And that's a very powerful little one-liner that if you think about it and you actually take it in, it's powerful, you know? So you don't get stuck, because that's the whole thing with what we're doing here. It's like, you have to put stuff out, you have to get feedback, you have to do that to learn and grow and figure out how to get better at making stuff, what people want to see, all of that stuff. So
you need to get in that flow state, right? To become really creative. If you're
it's more natural,
you will never, you know, like a tennis player, he doesn't think of where he's gonna hit, where he needs to run for the next ball. He just
it's a simple
in the
thought.
flow state, and he doesn't even know what he's doing, but he just, you know, and that's when you're creative, when you work as a creative, you should reach that state as well to become successful, I think.
Yeah.
And don't think about what others think of you, man.
Only so much. It's pretty, like, such an exciting time now, because as a creative, it's never been easier to, like, communicate your message and do what you want to do. Like, there's so many platforms that allow you to, like, one, showcase your work. Like, Instagram is now basically your portfolio. Yeah. You know, what's your Instagram? And people go there and they can see very quickly, you know, if you do what you say you do or what you actually do. And it's a very cool time to be alive, to be able to tell stories and, you know, be a creative person. Like someone like Megan who does art and like so good at drawing. It's pretty easy to turn those drawings into products and stuff like that. And like, it's just cool. Like for me, it's just exciting to be around people like you to talk about this stuff and, you know.
But how can I say this? How do you react to your feedback? Like if it's like positive feedback or negative feedback?
I don't know. People obviously directly message me with positive feedback. I always try and reply like, "Thank you so much," or just try and get back to them as fast as I can, or just try and be positive all the time, even if it's negative. I had one a week or so ago about someone messaging me saying I was trying to steal their work and I'm copying their style. I need to stop embarrassing myself. And I was just a bit like, I've never even heard of you before.
And then we actually checked out their page, and it's like, whack. It's not good stuff. Like,
and it's not even like, if you put mine and theirs together.
It's not like, it's okay. Like, if it was kind of the same, like, okay, maybe, but.
Yeah, but it's different. Yes, they're drawing kite stuff. Yes, it's slightly cartoonish, but put them together, you would clearly tell whose was who, and I've never even seen them before. You know, at first it's a bit like, okay, that kind of hurts a little bit, like. But then I thought about it, I spoke to Jake about it, and I was a bit like, actually, they're not even worth a reply, because it's not.
Just let it be,
you know? And just the way they came about it, and the way that how they said it, and the words that they used, I was like, they've obviously got nothing better to do. They obviously sit there and wait for people to just be like them, to say, oh, you're like me, and blah, blah, blah. So they just weren't even worth.
So they're obviously a bit frightened for your talent or something.
Yeah, maybe. And even on their Instagram, it was like copyright, blah, blah, blah. So they're obviously a bit sensitive about that stuff anyway. So just let them be. I'll just carry on doing my stuff and just put my stuff out there and, just try and accept.
You're on the right track.
Yeah, appreciate the good and forget the bad, and that's it, really.
Yeah, but that is a tough part, because even me, I've been putting out content for a long time. I don't even know how many years now, but for some reason, as a human, negative comments stand out. Yeah. For the most part, my YouTube audience, everyone is super stoked and happy for everything I make, but every now and again there's a guy or someone who just posts something, and it always gets to you, but you just have to, I always kind of look at it like, they're obviously in a place wherever they are, going through whatever they are, and they're just venting, they're just letting it out. You can't take it personally, because they're just, a troll. The internet's full of trolls who people are just looking for,
who have lots of
something to say, something to try and get some attention. So you just can't take it personally. It's super hard. You are going to see it. It is going to feel weird. But just don't take it personally, and don't let it kind of cloud your judgment on if you actually made a good piece of content or not. Because most of the time it's a troll. Doesn't really count for anything.
Yeah, and the thing with you, obviously you're in blue waters, hot weather. Yeah. And there's going to be people that are in snow, or just the complete opposite, who are just wishing they were you. You're always going to get that jealous person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for you get a lot of.
For the most part, everyone's good, and that's the thing. Because for me, what I'm doing, I just care so much about the energy and the effort that I'm putting into the content, that I'm actually trying to bring value to people. It's not, as you guys were saying earlier, it's not the macho, look at me, I have an awesome life. It's more of yes, for sure, I do get to do a lot of cool stuff, but it's also, I'm trying to educate and stoke people out to allow them to maybe figure out ways to have more fun in their life as well, A lot of kite tutorials where it's people like you guys who are kind of getting into sport, you can learn a lot of stuff without having to, throw yourself up into a tree or anything like that. So I think that's a big thing too with when you put stuff out, is try and bring value, in whatever way that may be, whether it's just a cool, beautiful photo that gives someone a second of happiness for that time, or actually teaching people stuff like that, or showing people how to do what you do. There's always ways to try and bring a little extra value versus just making something cool,
So how did you start it out, or when did you start it out making and creating stuff?
Yeah, I kind of learned how to make videos when I, maybe 15, 16, roughly, when I first got into kiting. Because I started kiting at 10 years old, and by 11 years old I took it pretty seriously, and I kind of wanted to figure out a way to do it as much as possible. And when I first started, I didn't really have much money to do competitions or anything like that. I was kind of just stuck in a beautiful place on an island where it's great for kiting, but there's not really a lot of kite opportunities, really. And then a friend of mine, Andre Phillip, was kind of just blowing up at the time, and he did a bit of competitions, but he also transitioned into the media side pretty quickly, where he was kind of focused on magazine articles and DVDs and stuff like that. So I kind of saw the power in creating media, in a sense, and that's kind of why I learned how to make videos, because I just wanted to make kite videos to show that I could do these tricks, and I was a kiter that, was maybe could create some sort of opportunity. And that's kind of when it first started. And then over the years, it was kind of the same thing for a lot of years. Wasn't really competing that much. Was kind of focused on making videos. But in the early days, we were kind of focused on the perfect video. So usually we'd make like one video a year. And it was like a very polished, good video. And those videos did good. We did a bunch. Basically, there's one called We Did Nothing. There's one called Island Time. And there's one that myself and Dre shot. And I edited the whole video called Cruise Mode. And those videos did super well. They've got over 500,000 views. Like, they're a solid, good video. They did kind of what we hoped they would do. But over time, I learned that that's one formula, which is kind of cool, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And over time, I just kept spending time online, learning about YouTube, saw the whole vlogging scene kind of take off, and like the connection it can build with an audience. Because those videos were cool, like they get a lot of views, but it's totally different to having, let's say, 10,000 people see your videos every week versus a video that gets 500,000 views over a year. It's a total different type of audience. They're not really that engaged into who you are and what you're doing. They just happen to see a cool video, and that's how it took off. And yeah, for me, it's just kind of grown into trying to create opportunity. My whole pursuit of this has always been like having just enough to get by and always wanting just to create opportunities to continue doing what I wanted to do. And that's why I went into making as good videos as I can, get really good at photos. So basically within kiting, I would have something that would bring value to someone, whether it be a kiteboarder or a brand. That I would have something that, even if I'm not doing the best tricks in the world, if I'm not the best competitor, I have something that's I can use to like continue to create more cool kite opportunities. So yeah, that's kind of how this whole journey started.
Why did you both choose for the entrepreneurship? Because it's...
I don't know, it was kind of like, I've never really seen it. Again, it was when I met Jake and I was like, oh, you've never worked a 9 to 5? Like, how have you not? Because coming from Europe, everyone, you leave college, you go to work, and it's just what you do. You find a job, and you might not like it, you might like it. That's just how, I guess, the world works. And maybe it's changing now. I've not been there a while.
Yeah, it's changed a lot in the past few years.
But I feel like it wasn't until I moved here and I saw people doing it themselves, and I saw it firsthand. I saw that Jake wasn't, fully employed, and it was all him. And I was like, it definitely opened my eyes to being like, oh wow, like I can actually work for myself. I can actually do this, and yeah, that's where it came from for me. I mean, I'm still figuring it out. Like the art stuff's definitely pushing me and making me go ahead that way, as well as some other things. But yeah.
When you start a journey like this, you will invite chaos in your life, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's like a very good topic to talk about. Yeah. Because a lot of times people see, you kind of don't have a normal job or whatever, and they think it's a dream. And like, it's kind of a double-edged sword. For sure there's good sides to what we're doing. You are kind of in control of your life. But it's also, it's hell. It's not secure. There's a lot of ups and downs, and it's like so hard to kind of get to the stage where you kind of just surviving, So that's the thing with social media that I realize now too, is like it's become pretty one-sided. A lot of content is perfect, and it just continues to be perfect forever. And it's like that's not really what's actually happening, And that's something I'm working on to try and integrate a bit more into my content as well, because you see like an awesome video, but you don't know like the stress just to get the shots, or like all the headache that went into just making the story work. And, it does end up being pretty sick, but it's definitely not easy,